What is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show, the home of epic conversations. And the Dr. Vibe Show is the home of epic conversations. I'm the host of Epic Conversations. Please note, I am also a certified empowerment coach, and president and CEO of Express Your Vibe Coaching Communications. We are back with our friend Rodney Kellum, who is a man who speaks life. And we've been continuing a series of epic conversations. And tonight we're going to be talking about rejecting mediocrity and embrace your greatness. Your past doesn't have to define your future. How you doing, Mr. Rodney?
I'm wonderful. I'm invigorated. And this message has been really resonating with me all week since we got off the last show last Sunday. So I got a lot to pour into people.
Excellent. Well, I know... Oh, I forgot to say to everyone, you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. We're on a little bit earlier than the post said, so if you missed this, you'll have to catch us on the replay, but I am tweeting it out, so maybe you'll catch it live. So, Rodney, you know what? Yeah, just let's get into it. You'll tell a little bit about yourself at the end, so let's get into it.
So, I actually got locked into a little bit of a lecture last night, just organically, talking about people's health and the diets that they keep and the sickness and disease that they're going through. And this point that's been really in my spirit for a long time, I want to just throw out to you, to every listener, every viewer, some of the most dangerous words and phrase you can use when it comes to improving your life, becoming the best version of yourself, is the following: just combined with a little. Just combined with a little. And you're like, what are you talking about? So let's say this, right? Let's say you're somebody who's dealing with a struggle in your life, an addiction or overcoming some hardship or changing your diet, something that requires a change so you can become better. And that thing that you've been used to, let's just throw out a word. Like, I used to love bacon, right? Bacon just what isn't healthy for me. And let's say I'm trying to get off of bacon because the doctor says my blood pressure is too high and pork contains too much sodium. Hey, I need you, Rodney, to get off that bacon. I know you love your bacon. You wave the bacon flag. You are the bacon ambassador. But you know what? It's killing you. I say, okay, doc, I hear you. I'll get off the bacon. I'll do it. I'll try. Another bad word. So what happens is a week later, 2 days later, you walk by one of those free breakfasts at the hotel. And there's bacon out there. It's punching you in the nose. You're sniffing, like you start to tell yourself, I'll just have a little piece. I'll just have a little bit. And what those words are the representation of your mediocrity. Because human nature will not allow you to have just, which means it's right, and a little, because we always want a lot. And that's what happens with a lot of our goals and our aspirations, is that when it's time to make the decision to do better, to make changes, to make adjustments, we keep going back to those things, those hardships, those things that drag us down. And we say it's just a little bacon, just a little side piece, if you know what I mean, just a little affair, just a little conversation. It's just a trip out of town. And we tell ourselves these lies because our mediocrity wants to win. It wants you to stay where you are because it's comfort there. Misery truly loves comfort. And mediocrity is the ambassador of misery. And so let's go through a few things. When it's talking about how to reject what your past has told you. And I'm going to talk to a few different people. Let's say when you were younger, or maybe not too long ago, you were somebody who didn't receive affection from a parent or your parents. You're somebody who may have been physically abused. You're somebody who was sexually abused. And, you received bad words spoken over you all your life. And you become a person who's embraced that. Someone told you you ain't beep. And you believe it because you say it out of your mouth, maybe jokingly, but it comes out of your mouth and it shows in your lifestyle. You're physically abused. You don't know what it's like to get loving touch You're someone who is sexually abused, who has trust issues in relationships, and you can't You can't keep a solid relationship because you don't have trust. You don't know how to surrender yourself and the other person surrender themselves to you because you're believing in your subconscious mind they're going to hurt you. Or you act out on the other end of the spectrum and you're very promiscuous. I know I'm getting a little bit deeper than most of the times, Dr. Bob, and I'm calling some things out, but I know your listeners, your viewers, and the people on my site, there's people out there that are hurting. You, the people I just named, I know you're hurting. I know it. And there is healing for you. So let's go down the list. Let's go down to talk about some things that are going to help you reject that mediocrity, that lie that was forced upon you, that you were told and force-fed over and over and over again. So you can embrace your greatness, who you truly are. And I'm going to skip down to one of my points because I think it's a good time to put it in there. Here's what I know. Settling for what most people have, meaning you're looking at what other people have in their life, is one of the most dangerous things that you can do. You have dreams, visions, and aspirations for a reason. You are pre-programmed for greatness because you have been made in the image and likeness of God. Now, these are principles that are true and that cannot be undone no matter what you say, think, or believe. You have a decision right now to believe, I am that abused child that's grown into an adult that's still hurt. You have a choice to believe that you are that sexually abused child that's grown up and has trust issues and relationship issues and issues with promiscuity because you're looking for it but don't know how to identify what real love is. You're somebody who was spoken into negatively all your life and you do the same to your children, or you speak that over yourself jokingly, or you don't believe that what's best is for you. That message that you're made in the image and likeness of God cannot be erased. So for every person that spoke a negative word over you, I cancel it right now. I say to you that they are a liar. Maybe they didn't know what they were doing because they were repeating what they were told, and it's time to end a generational curse. Maybe that person that physically abused you also never learned how to receive or never received physical, loving, consistent touch. Maybe they never learned how to handle conflict without physicality instead of using words and de-escalation techniques. I'm saying this to you because you can be that person who ends the cycle. And it takes a big leap of saying no more just in a little, no more believing the lie, and embrace this fact that you are made in the image and likeness of God. If you're struggling with an addiction, cigarettes, drugs, alcohol, if you're struggling with sexual promiscuity, if you're struggling with having affairs on your spouse, I'm here to tell you, stop telling yourself the lie about just and a little. Because no, it's not just, because it's not right. And you know it in your soul, in your spirit, because it makes you feel horrible and you don't really get fulfillment because it's not how you're designed. And a little, it's not a human nature to get a little bit, right? If you haven't eaten in 3 days, right? And you used to eating regular meals at a certain time, you're not just going to go up to a buffet and say, I'll just have a little. No, your hunger is going to say, give me, feed me, because I'm scared I won't eat again for another 3 days. It's a human nature. It's in our subconscious programming. That the little thing is a lie. So you're going to have to make a shift. You're going to have to make a shift in what you believe about yourself. And I know I didn't really plan on going this deep into it, but I want to ask you to do something very powerful. And that is to forgive the person who abused, hurt, or spoke a negative word over you. Right now, I want you to get a picture in your mind and see that person or people that abused you and spoke death and negative things and negativity over you as a child or as a young person. Because they had influence in your life, you received it and internalized it, and it grew up a bad harvest of self-destructive behaviors. I want you to see them in your head as that little person, or even as you are now, and say to them, excuse me, even though you may not deserve it, I forgive you for all the wrongs you caused me, all the harm you caused me, all the pain you inflicted. I forgive you. And I release you from my pain. I release you from my hatred. I release you from my resentment. You know why? Person envisioning right now is because you deserve the freedom. I say this every time. It's because you are here on this earth on purpose for a purpose. The world needs your greatness because your greatness is contagious. It's necessary. And if you don't share it with the world, with those around you, with the person next to you, then you are being selfish. So I want to say this real loud with all the power that I have on the inside of me, because it's time for you to step into it. Embrace your greatness now. And that greatness is that thing that you were born to do. That purpose that you were sent to earth to do. And it's undeniable. You know it's there. It's that thing you've been good at since you were a child. It's that thing you said was just a hobby. That thing you think that people won't pay for. It's that thing that people always come to you for. They ask you, hey, tell me about this thing. And you light up to talk about it. Like I'm really animated right now because right now I'm speaking life into people. This is what I was put on this earth to do. That thing that you light up about. That if someone asks a question, you can just speak a whole book into it. That when it comes to cooking, you just whip stuff together with a few ingredients that amazes people. That's your thing. When you can sing a song that brings people to tears, that's your greatness. And he doesn't have to be through a record contract to exhibit it. If you're a great athlete, maybe sometimes you can play the NBA, the NFL, the MLB, the NHL, Major League Soccer, or you could be a coach. Whatever that thing is that lights you up, that fire that wakes you up, that thing that keeps you driving, maybe it's being a parent. Maybe it's being a mom or a dad, an uncle, a parent, a guardian. Whatever that passion is, that thing is that you know that it clicks with you. It's time to say, you know what? I'll say yes. No more just in a little. But I embrace my greatness. No more believing the lies that were told to me. I embrace my greatness. No more believing I'm a victim, even though I was victimized. I embrace my greatness. It's time to tell yourself this every day. I am made in the image and likeness of God. I am made in the image and likeness of God. I am here on this earth on purpose for a purpose. Say it, and say it, and say it, and say it. Because you've got to reprogram yourself. You've got to get so much good stuff pouring into your brain that the old bad stuff just pours out. And all of a sudden you have a new self-image. And what you believe about yourself is exactly what you'll be. If you've been at the bottom for so long and you believe you're crap, you're going to be crap. Whatever that version is to you. But if you believe you're great, no matter if you're living on a bench, and sleeping on a bench outdoors, living in tents, if you're homeless, if you've been having bad relationships, can't keep one together, if you start believing and knowing that you're healed, that you're forgiving those victimizers, you're forgiving them, you know they no longer have power over you, even if they are or are not in your life, you start believing in yourself, and then the next time somebody speaks a negative word over you, you say, no, I'm made in the image and likeness of God. It'll just come out your mouth, I promise you. But you got to keep saying, you got to keep embracing your greatness. And once you embrace it and you believe it, you got to share it. Share, share, share. I really hope that I'm speaking to the spirit of people right now, that this message gets shared and watched over and over and over, because I know it's encouragement. I know it's food, good food for the soul. I know it's a message that goes against what you've been told all your life, because you absolutely need it. This message is a must have. You know, if you can download this and watch it later, all the platforms that Dr. Vibe is on iHeartRadio, I believe, download this, share it, make it a favorite, because you or someone else needs to hear this. Embrace your greatness. Get rid of the following words: just a little and I'll try. Remove them from your vocabulary. Those are defeated phrases and words and defeated language. When there's a major goal that you're going after, and you slip it in there, I'll try, you're giving yourself room and acceptance of failure before you even go at it. When you make a decision to do something, say, I'm going to. This will be by a certain date. I know it seems weird and it feels uncomfortable, but I'm telling you, these are the steps to embrace your greatness, because I've done it. The house I live in is because I spoke life over myself into my situation. Under 90 days, we went from having a home fire from a lightning bolt hitting us to homeowners in under 90 days, because every day I spoke, I would be in my own home. My family would be having Thanksgiving dinner in our own home, and we closed the day before Thanksgiving. The day before, when people were looking at me like I was crazy every time I would say it out loud with a whole bunch of excitement and belief and absolute faith. They looked at me like I was crazy, and I didn't care. Because in that moment when the fire struck my home, that lightning bolt struck my home and a fire came because of it, my faith switch turned on. I decided to believe everything God said about me was true. I understood that I was made in the image and likeness of God, and it was the first time that I used my tongue to create the life that I wanted. So I'm encouraging you and sharing this with you because this is powerful stuff. And it's time for you to create and step into the life that your vision, the real vision, that God-given vision, that God-given purpose that's been on the inside of you. It's time for it to manifest. So I'm going to wrap up by saying this. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, the top of my head, for the most valuable commodity on earth, which is your time. Because once you give it away, you will never get it back. And you chose to give me, Dr. Vibe, just a few moments of it. And I know it's going to help change your life. So remember, if you're watching it on YouTube, whatever platform you're watching it on, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to Dr. Vibe, subscribe to my website, download on iHeartRadio, all these platforms, and share this message. This might save someone's life, and I mean that with all. I'm clapping my hands because I'm so emphatic, right? You know, when you're emphatic, Dr. Vibe, you clap with every word. I'm emphatic because somebody out there has believed the lies told to them for decades, or at least decades ago. And they're on their last leg, they're on their last whim, they're saying it's not worth it. This is letting them know that they're worth it, that they have value, that their life has meaning. Your life has meaning. Share this post. Share this video. Share this audio. Leave a comment. Give us an email, because I would love to continue to pour into you and those around you. God bless you.
That is good stuff as usual, Rodney. Just dropping knowledge bombs as usual. Have one or two conversation pieces with you as always. If someone doesn't know what their greatness is, what suggestions would you ask them or tell them on finding their greatness? And maybe you can use a personal example.
Yeah, I was just listening to an audio or video by someone by the name of Robert Watkins. He has an organization called Kings and Priests. And he said this. He said, the advice that you would give yourself, the child version of yourself, what three things you tell them? Those are great clues to what your greatness is. Those things, like I stated before, that you would do for free that make you light up, those are clues to your greatness. Those things that you dream about and you dreamt about as a child that you may have put away because you were told that it can't come to pass, you were told they weren't practical because life got in the way, whatever that reason is, remember those dreams. Let them come back. And as an adult, look at them through an adult's eyes. Not for the purpose of saying what's impossible, but say, you know, because I'm an adult now, how can I make these things come to pass? And this is true for every personality type. In public, you know, you hear my voice, I'm booming, I convey messages, I believe I speak articulately, because that's my gift. There are people out there that don't have this exact gift, but they have a completely other gift. You may be great at organizing. You may be great at clerical things. You may be great. You know, think about this for a second. George Foreman, we all know that he's very more popular now for those grills than he was for boxing. When he retired from boxing, he continued to look for ways to fund his philanthropic endeavors. He had a recreation center for children in the Houston area, boxing gym, basketball, all that stuff. And he kept trying his hand at things because he was running out of money. All the money he made as a boxer was running out. But all of a sudden, after trying one thing and trying another business venture, this little grill company came to him and said, hey, we like your personality. You're very cheerful. Would you like to, be our spokesperson? He reluctantly at first said no, and then got back to us and said, let's give this a try. Now the man is wealthy beyond whatever he could ever ask or imagine. Because George Foreman's gift wasn't necessarily his boxing talent. That was one of his gifts. But the thing that made him world known outside of Ali was these grills. Because he had a bubbly personality. Because he could smile in front of the camera. That's made him more money than boxing ever did. Now I know you may not be a boxer, but I'm saying this to prove a point to you. Those things that you think have no real value have a global impact. Can have a global impact. And it may not result in $1 billion, but what if it results in somebody's life being saved, like what I just said? What if it results in you becoming a best-selling author? What if it becomes in you getting a promotion at your job? What if it results in your children having a better home life because, man, your organizational skills are on fleek? I hate that term. Erase that, Dr. Vibe. Cut that out later. maybe they're just excellent. We'll stick with excellent. And you learn, I saw a video for this little contraption that allows you to put your socks that always get lost in the washer and dryer on a little hook, and you put the whole thing in the washer and dryer, and then all your socks come out. Some person sitting around, probably on the toilet one day, was like, Eureka, socks on a hook, $1 million. So when you're saying to yourself that negative self-talk comes in, here comes bright idea, here comes negative self-talk, and negative self-talk tends to win. But this is the importance of speaking out loud over yourself. I am more than enough. I am more than a conqueror. I'm made in the image and likeness of God. I can, I will, I am. These are statements that you have to make to defeat the negative self-talk and embrace your greatness. So discover it. Take the time. Start writing some things down. Start planning some things out. Give some things a try. Something is going to light you on fire, and a fire that won't go out. That's inspiration. The motivation comes and goes, but the inspiration never dies. It's time to tap into your inspiration. That's how you embrace your greatness. And I hope that helps somebody discover it or get to the point where you discover your greatness.
I agree. I would add one or two quick things on top of that. If you don't know what your gift is, if you have close friends that you trust, ask them what you're good at. Yeah. And be ready, because what you think you're good at and what other people think you're good at can be two different things. So be prepared for that. And one of the things I always say is that your gift will take you where your character will fail you. So if you don't think you're ready to take on the world, you have a gift that can make you a shining light in the world and to the world. So always remember that. Always remember there's always gifts. There is something in each one of us that makes us special. There's something that you do, whoever's watching or listening to this live on the replay, there's something that you do better than anyone else you know. And maybe you know that now, or maybe you don't know that yet. But that time will come, and when you have that thing, especially if it's a positive asset to the world, and especially it has to be something that's bigger than you. Because if you're mediocre, you're just thinking about yourself. Greatness encompasses bigger than yourself. And last week I actually had the chance for the first time in my journey to do some sharing with some young gentlemen who are in prison. And I did say to them that, that where you are now doesn't have to be where you're going. And they got that message. So as Rodney's saying in our conversation tonight, where you are now doesn't have to be where you're going. It's going to take work, but you know what? Work cures a lot of the common challenges we have in life. I just wanted to add that on to what Rodney was just sharing with us. Rodney, is there anything else you'd like to share with the audience this evening?
I believe in you. Let me speak that over you. I believe in you. And it's easy because I know that you, like myself and Dr. Vibe, are made in the image and likeness of God. You are pre-programmed for greatness. It's in your DNA. That means it's inescapable, realistically. It's there the whole time. Just tap into it. Trust maybe the voice of a stranger. Maybe this is your first time hearing me. but I hope that you will trust in the voice of this stranger. Maybe it'll become a voice of what you believe and consider a friend. Digitally, over video and over audio, it's time to just listen to someone else for just a moment if you've been lied to all these years. You're worth it. You're here on purpose, for a purpose. And I hope that these few words, these few moments in your time encourage you, inspire you, and help you to believe what I already know, what God already pre-programmed for you, is that you are here to be great, to share and exhibit that greatness so that the world can become a better place. It starts with you and your immediate sphere of influence, maybe a family, a friend, or those around you, but it's contagious. It's more contagious than any negative sickness, disease, or virus. Your greatness is. Embrace it.
Excellent. If people want to find out or get more about you or get in contact with you, how can they do that?
All right, this is simple. @Fatherpreneur is my online handle. Father, Preneur. That's Instagram, that's Twitter. If you find me on Facebook, where a lot of this content is going, I'm Rodney Kellum of Speak Life. That's my fan page. That's where you can contact me, message me. And of course, you can email me at rodney@speaklife.online, which links to the website, speaklife.online. I got some demo videos up there of me speaking and engagements, speaking life over people, great content. All of these interviews with Dr. Vibe are there. Another platform for you to watch it and comment, comment, and share. Just reach out to me to speak life into your organization, to you, to your small group, to your large group, to your convention, because I've embraced my greatness. I know that's what I'm here to do, and I hope you'll partner with me in doing it.
Excellent. I am Dr. Vibe, host and producer of the award-winning The Dr. Vibe Show. As always, you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. If you want to watch replays of epic conversations online, video-wise, you're at the place. Just go to YouTube, put in the YouTube search engine, the space DR period space VIBE space SHOW. If you want to listen to replays of the audio epic conversations, you can go to my website, the DR VIBE SHOW. You can also go to Stitcher Radio, TuneIn Radio, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio. Selected audio replays are also available at thegoodmanproject.com, also at WJMS Radio out of New York. I am a certified empowerment coach, president and CEO of Express Your Vibe Coaching Communications. If you'd like a complimentary session, please reach out to me, Twitter at DRVIBESHOW. You can also touch base with me through my website. Go to the top of the website, click on Connect with Dr. Vibe, and you'll be able to send me a message, email, video, or audio-wise right on the site. You can also send me an email direct at dr.vibe@thedrvibeshow.com. Brand ambassador for the only online magazine that features African Americans in food, wine, and travel. Name of the magazine is Cuisine Noir Magazine. Website address cuisinenoirmag.com. If you're a business or entrepreneur would like to get media promotion, I run a service called Getting Media Coverage, so reach out to me on that. That's where I help businesses and entrepreneurs get media promotion so they can elevate their business, product, or service. Next up, most Monday evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern Time in collaboration with the Good Men Project, I'm hosting a conversation called You, Me, and CTE. CTE is the brain disorder, I'd like to call it, which many athletes suffer when they're playing in contact sports. And it's a big issue, especially with NFL athletes, especially ex-NFL athletes. Then what we do also, two events coming up in the journey, September 7th through 9th in Niagara Falls, Ontario. I'll be sharing at the Truth Conference. And then I will be emceeing the Men's and Women's Conference on Masculinity in Toronto on November 18th. I'll be emceeing the actual conference on the 18th, and the night of the 17th, I'll be hosting their leadership night. So things are coming along. As always, I like to say 3 last things. Live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Next up, sometimes you have to get smaller to get stronger. And finally, block assumptions. I'd like to thank Rodney. As always, he's off to play basketball now. Good for Rodney. Gonna just go hard in the paint, Rodney, as always. And then finally, God bless, peace be well, keep the faith, and as I always say from my heritage, walk good. See you next time. Be well and keep the faith, and thanks for watching live or listening live and on the replay.